Let's see here. Carry the 1. Oh my gosh, these glasses. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Boy, this is good.
Hi, I'm Michael McBride, and this is Ripped 411, the place to be to get a ripped body and a ripped life. Today we are talking about measuring. No, it's not about the fierce debate between the English and the metric system. Inches! Centimetres! When you were a little kid, did you measure how tall you were against a wall or a doorpost? I remember when I was young, I would go to that doorpost every few days and see if I had grown just a few little millimeters. Usually we love to measure things in our lives that we think are going really well. When you get that paycheck, don't you run to the bank and check your statement to see how much money you have to spend? In our home, we measure money in terms of shoes. When you post to Facebook that hysterical video of the twerking girl that catches on fire, don't you go back every few minutes or hours to see if there's any other likes or comments? We love measuring things. Some things. It's usually the things that we're not feeling so hot about that we don't like to measure. When the dentist asks you, how many times have you been flossing? Or after that holiday party when you don't really want to step on the scale? Or how many thousands of calories are in that one bag of movie popcorn? In fact, in many states, there are laws that require restaurant menus to state how many calories are in each food. There must be something to this measuring thing to get our heads out of the sand and give us a cold dose of reality. But the good news is that measuring does not have to be just about making us feel good or bad about ourselves. It can actually be a powerful tool to improve any area of our life. And this is our first tweetable. The first step toward change is awareness. This comes from Darren Hardy's book, The Compound Effect. In it, he describes that simply measuring something is the first step toward improving it. Now, this can apply to your finances, your fitness, your relationships, your education, really pretty much anything. So for me personally, here are 3 things that I measure. Now, I'm a university music professor, a fitness coach, and a business developer. But the first time that I really sat down and started to measure something that I wanted to improve was when I was working out with my man, Tony Horton, in the Extreme Home Workout P90X. In it, he constantly reminds us to write down our reps and weight. In fact, the program starts by having us take before pictures, and then it finishes with taking another set of pictures so we can compare the two of them side by side and see what happened. I will say I'm pretty proud of what happened. In fact, I lost 25 pounds, 13% body fat, and I found my 6-pack abs for the first time in my life. So here are 3 examples of things that I'm tracking or helping other people track.
Number 1, workout sheet. Here is an example of a workout sheet. This is from the home workout program Body Beast, and in it you can just see I simply have the different exercises in the program, a place to write the reps and weight, and from week to week I can track to see where I need to push a little harder or where I need to give myself a little bit of extra time to develop and grow. There's no shame in writing a number that's the same or lower than what you had before. It's just something to learn from. The second is a business activity tracker. Now this is something that I use to make sure that I'm doing the right things and that I'm progressing in my fitness coaching business. So here again, you can see the different activities that I have, a goal column for the week, and then exactly what I accomplished throughout the week, and I total it at the end. Finally, this is an activity tracker for my ear training students. Same as before, here are the activities, here are my goals, and the places that I write, and total what I've done. And at the bottom of these sheets, I have a place where I can kind of do some assessment and see what went well, what didn't go so well, where I stepped out of my comfort zone, and how I want to strategize to improve for the next week.
So why didn't I track these things from the beginning? Well, I had lame excuses like, it doesn't make much difference between writing it down or remembering it. It takes so much time to write these things down when I could just stay productive. I'm just lazy. and I'm okay with where I am right now. Now, while it does take some extra time to set goals, track what I'm doing, reflect on what happened, and then to set more goals, it's completely worth it because it works. So when somebody says to me, I've been working so hard to lose weight, but it's just not coming off, I immediately ask them to show me what their food journal is, so I can see exactly what they're eating, how much they're eating, and when they're eating. Usually they can't produce it on the spot for any one of the lame excuses that I've used before. Or when one of my students comes to me frustrated that they can't get some concept in a class that I'm teaching, I'll ask them, well, show me your practice journal, so I can see exactly what you've been studying and how much you've been studying. You can guess what happens next. It's amazing what can happen when we track our activities with consistency. It leads us along that slight edge of success, as Jeff Olson writes. So now I want to turn it over to you with a challenge. Now you have big dreams, you have big goals. What's one area of your life that you want to see improve? And how are you going to track it? Tell me about it in the comments below. Did you like this video? If you liked it, then subscribe and share it with all of your friends. Remember, the best event to show up to is your own life. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Ripped411.com.